You are ambitious. Your thoughts go far, your plans are big, and your imagination builds impressive futures. But when it's time to act, something freezes. Your body feels heavy, your mind searches for distractions, and suddenly simple tasks seem to require energy you don't have. You promise that tomorrow will be different, that tomorrow you will start, that tomorrow you will finally move forward. But tomorrow turns into later. Later turns into next week, and before you realize it, months have passed. This creates guilt, frustration, and a question that starts echoing in your mind. Am I just lazy? But the answer may surprise you. What's happening to you is not a lack of ambition. It's a silent conflict between the size of your dreams and the way your brain reacts to the effort required to achieve them. Your brain was not designed to chase grand achievements. It was designed to save energy and avoid discomfort. Every time you think about starting something that feels too big, like changing your life, learning a new skill, improving your body, or organizing your finances, your mind interprets it as a threat of excessive energy expenditure. So, automatically, it suggests easier and more pleasurable alternatives. Opening social media, watching short videos, postponing tasks, seeking small immediate rewards. This doesn't happen because you are incapable. It happens because your mind is trying to protect you from what it perceives as unnecessary effort. The problem is that this protection has been keeping you in the exact same place for a very long time. You may have felt this many times. You want to start reading more, but you think you need to read dozens of pages a day. You want to start exercising, but you imagine long and exhausting workouts. You want to save money, but you think you'll have to cut everything at once. These thoughts create an invisible barrier before you even take the first step. The task becomes so big in your mind that it feels impossible to begin. And when something feels impossible, the brain simply decides not to start. Not because you don't care, but because the size of the goal paralyzes any action. It's like looking at the top of a mountain and giving up before taking the first step on the trail. The change begins when you understand one simple and powerful thing. Laziness is not who you are. Laziness is just a behavior pattern that has been repeated so many times that it became automatic. And everything that is learned can be relearned. Instead of trying to face your big goals head-on, you need to make them small enough so your brain doesn't see any threat at all. The secret is not increasing your willpower. It's reducing the size of the beginning. When the start stops being intimidating, resistance almost disappears, and taking action becomes far more natural than you imagine. If you want to read more, don't start with entire chapters. Start with a single page. If you want to exercise, don't think about a 1-hour workout. Think about putting on your shoes and doing a few light movements. If you want to organize your life, tidy up just a small space. These steps may seem insignificant, but they have a massive psychological effect. They break the barrier of inertia. They show your brain that the task doesn't require as much effort as it thought. And once you start, something curious happens. Continuing becomes easier than stopping. Movement creates more movement, and what once felt difficult begins to flow. Another fundamental part of this process is routine. When you rely only on motivation, you become hostage to your mood, your fatigue, and the circumstances of the day. But when you turn small actions into part of your environment, you drastically reduce the need to decide. Leave the book visible, the water bottle within reach, your workout clothes already prepared. When the action is easy to start, it stops requiring mental effort. You don't need to convince yourself. You simply do it, almost automatically. And this is extremely powerful for anyone who struggles to begin tasks. There is also a very simple technique that can completely change your relationship with starting: the 2-minute rule. Commit to doing any task for just 2 minutes. No more than that. Read for 2 minutes, organize for 2 minutes, move for 2 minutes. It sounds too small, but that's exactly the point. Your brain easily accepts this deal because it doesn't see significant effort. And most of the time, once you start, you naturally decide to continue. The hardest part was never continuing. It was always starting. But there is a detail many people ignore. You need to associate reward with starting. Every time you complete those 2 minutes, allow yourself a small pleasure. It could be listening to a song, having a coffee, or taking a short break. This teaches your mind to associate action with something positive. Over time, starting tasks stops feeling heavy and begins to generate satisfaction. You literally reprogram how your brain sees effort and progress. It's also important to remember that no one you admire started big. All the disciplined people you know went through this same process. They didn't wake up motivated one day and change everything at once. They started small, repeated the basics many times, and let time work in their favor. Their progress wasn't made of bursts of energy, but of quiet consistency. And that is what builds real and lasting results. Your dreams are like a weak flame. Every small action you take is like adding a bit of fuel. At first, it seems like nothing is happening. But if you keep feeding it, the flame grows. And before you realize it, what seemed impossible months ago becomes part of your routine. Not because it was easy, but because it was consistent. Consistency turns the difficult into the common, and the common into results. You also need to accept that failure is part of the path. There will be days when you do nothing, days when you return to old habits, and that's okay. The mistake is not failing, but using failure as a reason to quit. Whenever you notice you've drifted off course, return to the smallest possible step. Go back to the single page, the 2 minutes, the small action. Restarting small is far more effective than trying to compensate with something big. In the end, everything comes down to 3 simple moves. Start small enough to avoid resistance. Make the environment support the action so it happens almost without thinking. And use the 2 minutes as a gateway to any change. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just reduce the beginning to the point where staying still feels harder than starting. That's how ambitious but stuck people finally begin to move.